I received the divorce papers while deployed in the desert. 13 years of marriage ended in a PDF. My name is Nathan, 42, a staff sergeant with the 82nd Airborne. I had been in Kandahar for 4 months when Becky decided she was done. The subject line read, "Let's be adults about this." 3 sentences. She had filed, drained our joint account, and moved her new boyfriend, Jeremy, into our house in Spokane. I closed my laptop, showered in the communal stall, dressed for my shift, and said nothing. That night I replied with one word. Understood. Wilson, my bunkmate, asked, "You good, man?" "Yeah, just some stuff back home," I answered. He nodded and left it there. Military guys know when to let silence do the talking. Truth was, I saw it coming. 6 months before deployment, she changed. New clothes, new friends, new gym routine, new passwords. I didn't confront her. That's not my way. I prepared quietly, moved important documents, birth certificates, our deed, in my name, via the VA loan, my mom's silver and my grandfather's watch, to a storage unit. I opened a separate bank account and diverted part of my pay. Not enough to raise suspicion, but enough to stand on if things went south. The night before I deployed, she hugged me at the airport. Dry eyes, like saying goodbye to a coworker. I should have known. I met Becky in 2010. Married her 8 months later. She used to say she was proud of me but never truly understood military life. Her father was a banker, her brother a pharmacist. "When will you get a real job?" she asked once. After 15 years in the Army, I knew this was my calling. She never quite did. We bought our home in 2014, paid off student loans after my parents passed, thanks to their small inheritance. I deployed 4 times. Each time I returned, she seemed more distant, restless. I suggested counseling. She brushed it off. Then came the girls' nights, weekends away, and the gym membership she barely used. I never confronted. I observed, prepared. 2 weeks after her email, I got a notification. $88,500 withdrawn. Almost everything. She'd been siphoning funds since my deployment started. That night, I checked the security camera feeds from home. A strange man, Jeremy, I assumed, in my sweatshirt, drinking from my mug, walking my dog. I didn't get angry. I got focused. At 0500, I emailed James, an old Army buddy turned lawyer. We spoke securely. I laid everything out, made a checklist. Legal steps, pension security, the VA loan. 2 months later, I flew home, quietly. Checked into a motel under an alias. Met James at a diner outside Spokane. He handed me a folder. Inside, the forged refinance paperwork. Becky had pulled $330,000 against the house, using my forged signature, Jeremy listed as co-applicant, with a criminal record, DUIs, fraud. I took a deep breath. What are my options? James smiled. Let's begin. We went to the bank. I showed ID, signature samples, military docs. The loan officer turned pale. I filed fraud reports, blocked any property changes, and contested the refinance. Becky called. "We need to talk." The bank called about the house. "What are you doing?" I didn't respond. Then James called. "They froze the refinance funds. And your truck?" "Jeremy got pulled over. Suspended license. It's impounded. And guess what they found?" "What?" "Stolen prescription pads. From Becky's dental office. Not blank." I closed my eyes. I didn't call her. I didn't warn her. I watched. Let the consequences catch up. This wasn't revenge. This was accountability, and it had only just begun. The next morning, I sat across from a bank fraud investigator named Thompson. He looked like he hadn't slept in a week, and a fading coffee stain on his tie matched the mood. "This happens more often than you'd think," he muttered as he spread documents across his desk. "Spouse deploys. Other spouse sees an opportunity." "What happens now?" I asked. "We froze the funds from the fraudulent refinance," he said. "But there's a problem. Some of the money's already gone. How much? About half. $14,600. I leaned in. Where did it go? He hesitated. Not supposed to share that info. It's my house. My name was forged. My money stolen. He nodded, turned his computer screen toward me. Transfers were made to someone named Daniel Spencer. Not Jeremy. Someone new. I took a picture of the screen and called James. An hour later, he called back. Daniel Spencer is a real estate agent, specializes in fast cash sales. He's worked with Jeremy before, 3 times. Actually, she was planning to sell the house, I said, the words dull but heavy. Looks like it. The deposits were probably earnest money. And it seems like Jeremy has a track record of getting involved with vulnerable women and flipping their homes. My stomach turned. This wasn't just betrayal. This was calculated. What do we do? Already called the FBI. There's a pattern here, and your case may be the one that breaks it open. That night, Becky texted, "Nathan, please call me. I don't understand what's happening." I replied, "Who is Daniel Spencer?" After a long pause, "I don't know what you're talking about." I responded, $14,600. Multiple transfers. House listing. 10 minutes passed. It's not what you think. I turned off my phone. The next morning, James called. FBI wants to meet. At the Spokane field office, agents Patel and Donovan took my statement. This confirms what we suspected, Patel said. Your case adds weight. I asked about Becky. We're still determining her involvement, Donovan replied. But she may have been more than just a victim. That night, I drove past the house. Becky's car was gone. Jeremy's truck was back. My phone buzzed again. Let's meet tomorrow. James said, Don't go. I won't, but I want to see what she does while I'm supposed to be there. The next day, we parked across the street from the house. At 9:45, Becky left. At 10:05, a car pulled up, real estate logo on the side. Daniel Spencer. Jeremy greeted him. They entered the house. Do we follow? James asked. No need. Cameras. Interior and exterior. We watched the feed. Spencer took photos. Jeremy gave the tour. Should list by the end of the week, Spencer said. Got a buyer? Cash offer. $420K. Becky says he's causing trouble, Spencer continued. But he's military. They're all the same. He'll take a deal to make it go away. I forwarded the video to Agent Patel. 30 minutes later, FBI vehicles swarmed the house. Spencer and Jeremy were led out in cuffs. Patel called. Got them on conspiracy, wire fraud, and attempted sale under false pretenses. What do you want? To do about Becky? I looked at her, standing on the lawn, hands over her mouth. I want what's right. Jeremy got 8 years. Spencer got 12. Becky agreed to restitution, signed away rights to the house and pension. In return, I didn't press charges. A year later, I sold the house. Too many memories. Now I live in a cabin near Missoula. 10 acres, no neighbors. A German Shepherd named Scout. Carpentry pays the bills, my pension covers the rest. One day, a letter came from a Navy wife in Texas. You don't know me, but you saved our home. Thank you. That letter hangs on my fridge. Some days, when the silence gets loud, I read it again. Because it reminds me, sometimes, the truth. The fight and a little grit can make all the difference, and sometimes that's enough.